finishing off this round, representing the Berkeley Institute, Marcus Henschka.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Even though the number of unemployed college graduates has drastically risen over the past few years, I still do believe that college degrees hold some value. It is not the value of the distinction that has decreased, but instead its rarity which has subsided. College degrees were at one point worthless. No one went to college. They were around but weren't a necessity. It was high school and then the working world. Colleges and universities later became popular, and the few students that were actually able to attain this distinction were looked at in a totally different manner opposed to their less intelligent counterparts. I by no means agree with this, however, I talk of the stereotypes that there were. In today's world, a college education has become much more accessible to all. Many do not even have to pay due to scholarships given by various governments, businesses, and funds. People of all races and classes can obtain a college degree, therefore causing the pool of job competitors to drastically increase. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, there are roughly 21 million students obtaining a degree in the United States of America alone. In spite of these statistics, I still believe that degrees hold some value as they have in recent times. However, the increase in students who have degrees and the lack of jobs there are have caused employers to look for much more than just a degree. What exactly are they looking for? They begin to look for well-rounded candidates with good people skills who have leadership qualities. They look for those who work hard, give back, and know how to interact well with others. A job is so much more than being smart. It takes communication skills, reasoning skills, the ability to adapt with others, and many other characteristics, just to name a few. By searching for the perfect job candidate who shows all these qualities, companies and employers are able to shrink the numbers of applicants drastically whilst also finding the person they best believe fit these positions. Slate.com, an economic blog, tells us that in America today, about 8.5% of college graduates have found themselves unemployed. 15 years ago, the amount was 2%. It has more than quadrupled. If this trend were to continue, the college degree would eventually become marginalized. When we look at a global scale, roughly 5.9%, or 212 million people, are out of work, and around a whopping 44% are underemployed, meaning that they have jobs that are beneath the level of their education. Now it's time to look at Bermuda. Our island home has an unemployment rate of roughly 7%. That converts to around 5,000 people. Our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones. 5,000 out of 70,000 may seem small, but in all honesty, the numbers shouldn't be that high. Apart from what I've said, however, even though I do feel that degrees hold some value, in some cases, a degree doesn't have the prestige it once did. In today's world, there are many jobs that require you to take tests to become certified after you've gotten a degree. For example, I wish to become an actuary, and most businesses won't look into hiring you with just a degree. They want someone who already has 2 or 3 of the multiple exams that you need to become a full-fledged actuary. There are many jobs in the world like this today that require certifications. They include accountants, underwriters, lawyers, technicians, and many more, just to name a few. It's just a part of the ever-changing world. Nevertheless, I still believe that degrees hold some value. It is my view that due to new factors and new jobs, other things are still required. In some aspects, the value is the same and clear to see, whilst in others, it's quite apparent that more needs to be done. All in all, if I had to pick a side, I'd say that degrees do not hold the value that they once had. Advances in the working world have diminished some of the credibility, and until exams, courses, and field work that are required after schooling become a part of the curriculum, this will always be the case. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the oratorical portion. If you enjoyed that, put your hands together. They say one of the greatest things that everyone, the number one phobia in the world, is that of public speaking. Those young men did a wonderful job, didn't they?
I would like to thank each of the coaches for the young men. Thank you for the time that you put in energizing and getting the young men ready for the oratorical competition.
Right now, we have somebody that's near and dear to our hearts that's in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, we had one of our representatives from our organization, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, our Eastern Conference Vice President, R. Anthony Mills. He actually came down specifically for this event. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge his presence at this point in time. Mr. Mills. He thought it not robbery to come and represent the fraternity at this level, and for that, we're truly grateful. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, the young men, for 6 months, they partook. Is that a word, Wayne?
Well, we worked through it.
Okay, thank you. My English teacher, Ms. Tucker's in the audience. I'm sure she'll pull me aside later and correct me. They did
Past participle.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Katie.
So what had happened was, right, ladies and gentlemen, they have a community service. What we want to show you is what those gentlemen did for the 6 months in our community.
It's a satisfactory feeling when you walk in and you see them smile, see that smile on their face. Not everybody can do certain things, but they know what to do and not to judge them because they have a brain of their own and they're independent too, and they like to be independent.
Well, my experiences at the rest home, I think have been very fulfilling. Having to talk to some of the elderly here, I can really see where they're coming from with all the many stories that they have and all the experiences that they've had throughout their lives. Well, something that I could probably take away from my time at Matilda Smith is basically just how to deal with people.
I just like talking to them. Some of them you can't actually talk to because they don't respond, but just that time where we get to feed them and socialize with them, I know it makes them happy, so that's why I enjoy coming here.
It's what you make of it. So what I'm learning from this, people age and stuff, and they need help. So that just shows, helping people just doesn't have to stop here. I can interpret that throughout my whole life. And, just being with these senior citizens is just amazing.
So for the Alphas to put this into the program, it would be really good because it just kind of helps you to be around people, like to just get to know people who are not just different from you, but can do things for themselves at times. Like it brings something out of you that's different from just helping a cousin or auntie. Like it's like you're helping somebody who can't help themselves. So it just brings like a special something out of your heart, I guess. I don't know. It's almost like heartwarming, like compassionate. It just feels good. It just gives you a really good feeling inside.
At the end of the day, some of them actually have no one. So just us coming here to give them support, and it could make their day very happy, and I don't mind doing that.
So the rest of them has been a really heartwarming experience because I get to come here and really get to be one-on-one with the old people, and they don't really get that much visitors as it is. So just seeing us here doing what we do and giving our services really puts a smile on not only my face but their faces as well. Well, feeding at first, it was like kind of awkward because I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know the people. But as I kept coming over time, it started to become like I got used to it. So now when I come to feed, it's just like secondhand. Like I'm used to it. I know what to do and everything. So the Beautillion is not about us, but for us giving back to the community, and this is a good way to do that.
And I saw him really getting into that. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we see the news reports and we see certain things that are going on in our community. Tonight has indeed been a privilege. Actually, I was really touched to watch as they fed the seniors in our community. These young men should be applauded, their parents, their families, for raising these well-adjusted young men that are a credit to every single person in this audience.
Wayne, I think it's only fitting if we can bring up the house lights, and as we call the schools, we're just going to ask for the support system, the families, particularly the parents, if they can please stand.
If you're a parent of any of the young men, we ask you if you can stand, please. If you're a parent, a guardian of any of the young men.
I'll tell you what, let's start off with the schools. Work Academy. Work Academy's mom and dad.
Yay.
Job well done. Barkley. Job well done.
The Bermuda Institute.
Salters. Mount St. Agnes.
Impact Mentoring Academy.
The Barkley. I said Barkley already, I know that. Just checking. And the Cedar Bridge Academy.
Yes, sir.
Is that it?
Sometimes we see the fruit. Now we got to see the root. Thank you, moms and dads and guardians, for making it possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do right now is we're going to keep it very simple for you. We have 7 boys. I don't think we've ever...
Men, wait. Take slow your roll.
Excuse me, 7 men.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for that correction, little brother.
Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, I was born at 9 a.m. My brother was born at 9:20. He is indeed my younger brother.
I kicked him out because I wanted a room with a view. Boom. This mic is always on. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have right now coming to you is we have 7 young men. Now those young men, it's probably the most we've had in a while. So usually we show you the profiles in the second half. We can't do that. So we have a 10-minute intermission. Whilst Ms. Tucker, whilst you're at intermission, we're going to show the profiles of the young men on the screen. If you would like to go outside for refreshments, we have a screen outside where you can actually see it. If you need to use the bathroom and the like, we have a screen outside so you don't miss a beat. But unfortunately, we want to keep the show running. The other housekeeping events are, if you're parked in the fire areas in front, we're going to ask you to move your vehicles immediately.
They've given us some grace time. They're going to actually tow the vehicles away. So we're going to actually, if there's a fire lane right adjacent to the sidewalk, the closest to the building, we're going to ask you to immediately move that vehicle. We've been given a grace period. They're going to clamp and...
Wayne, is that your mother moving?
Lord have mercy.
Oh, Lord. If there's going to be one person that's going to break the rules...
Everybody else follows you. My mama has got to be the person.
Why does my mother have to be that person?
Oh, Lord,
Jesus, be a belt.
Take the wheel.
Jesus, be a belt.
Be a fence. My goodness.
Yes, indeed. It's always one in every crowd.
My goodness.
It's got to be my mother. My
daddy drove. I saw you driving though, Daddy.
But my dad sent my mother. That's the sad part.
My daddy drove.
That's cold. That's cold, Pops.
Ladies
and gentlemen, we have 20 minutes. We're going to ask for everyone to come. Excuse me, we have 10 minutes. We're going to ask for everyone to come back in 10 minutes. Thank you so much.